Okay, guys, welcome back to 100 Days of Cloud. I've This is day 8, and I've already started the terminal. You can see it's been up for 1 minute and 45 seconds thereabouts. And what it's asking us to do today, as part of the migration, there were some components added to the AWS account. Team created one of the EC2 instances where they may need to make some changes now. There is an EC2 instance named Data Center-EC2 under US East 1 region. Enable the stop protection for this instance. So one, I want to point out that what KodeKloud does, this gets randomized. It'll never be the same. If we tried this and we failed and came back, it'll be a completely different name. The lessons that it's trying to teach will be the same, but it'll randomize the names and things like that. So you can't copy what you started doing if you failed it and copy what you did over to the next lesson or the redo. So anyway, we're here. And again, they give us the option of going to the console. And that's the username and password. I'm not sure why they don't give access keys, but I know why they don't give access keys. It's a security thing, but let's start. So yesterday, the last lesson, which was yesterday, we had to modify an instance. So I suspect that this is going to build on that lesson on how to modify. So I'm going to AWS EC2, I forget what it is, but let's help. Modify something, modify instance or something like that. Just keep scrolling down. At some point I gotta figure out how to filter that. Why don't I do that? Why don't I do that right now? Modify instance attribute. So this is what we're gonna look for, modify instance attribute. I think I'm gonna figure out how to filter. Okay. I'm gonna quit. So can I just go to the end, hit Q. There we go. So we know it's modify. I'm gonna paste that. It's plain text. And I'm gonna help that as well. And it wants us to enable stop protection. So let's look for something that says disable stop. No, disable stop. I'm just looking for anything that says instance stop, disable API termination. It's going to be one of these. So no disable API or disable API. I'm going to try this one because it says stop and up here it says stop. So that's what I'm going to do. Indicates whether that instance is enabled for stop protection. Well, look at that. Scroll down and the answer reveals itself. Alright, so let's hit end to get to the end of that. Q to break out of that. I normally list when I get into these environments. I'm not sure why I didn't do that this time, so nope. That's not the right thing. It's AWS EC2 describe instances. Okay. So this is going to describe all the instances. And we're looking for data center EC2. Let's do this. Let's figure stuff out together. List specific EC2 instances of CLI. So what is this thing going to say? Filtering. Filters, name tag, no. No, the tag will do it. To find resources by a specific tag key, regardless of value. There's a querying thing there. That looks a little intimidating to me, so I'm going to stick with this one. So I'm not. Now, of course, I could just scroll through, look for the name here somewhere. It's down at the bottom. It's usually down towards the bottom. Well, there's only one here. So let's just look for the name. It's running. Tags, there it is. Data center 2, so this is the guy we need. What do I want to do? This is going to find the same thing. This is what we copied from before. So if I do data center dash EC2, and it's going to bring up the same thing we just had. So at least now we're familiar with how to find specific. You know what? Let me see if I could. I'll put a table to see what that looks like. Tags. Yes, comes out. I wonder if there's a way to list it in a clearer form. There has to be. There has to be. There has to be. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. So let's modify. We know what we. ID? Instance ID, there you go. Hiding. So let's hit this up again. So we modify, we're gonna do no disable. No, we're gonna enable disable API stop. So we're doing a double negative. No disable API stop. So you see modify comes first. Here are the options before that you have to put right after the command, and then after we add the instance ID, and anything else that we want to change the attribute for would come after the instance ID in the list there. So we're gonna go end again. Q. I'm going to go back up and get do, I think it's one dash, it's instance dash ID. Forgot to add the I'm gonna get better at this, I promise. I'm gonna save this again. And double dash instance ID. There's double dash no disable API stop. 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 No. No disable API stop. Alright, we did that right. I think we did that right. Let's see what it says. Well, something happened. Crazy thing is, a lot of times it doesn't even tell you if it's going through. You have to go ahead and find the options. So I wonder if it'll be here. How do you list the attributes? Can you list the attributes? List all attributes to EC2 instance. I don't like that. All right, we're going back. So let's. So now we're going to look for, and I hope it's here. I don't know where the attribute disable would be disabled. Delete on termination. No. Usage. How would we know? How do we find out? Yeah, I told you guys that this is going to be trial and error. We're going to work through this together. I don't know where it would. I don't know where it would show us. Describe. Is stop protection. We would need to replace that instance ID. So let's copy that. Let's come back here. 20 minutes in right now. We need the instance ID again. near the top now, so no. Disable API stop. Is that the right one? No, disable API stop. Disable API stop is null. Oh boy. No disable. So how do we know? No. No. That's not right. Let's get rid of that S. No. What the hell? The following command will return true if stop protection is enabled, false if it's not. Disable. To enable stop protection, we would need to do, to enable stop protection, we need to do dash dash disable API stop. Okay. So I think I did no disable. So that's where the problem is, I think, because I added no and it's not supposed to be a no there. Oh boy. Still says no. That's interesting. Why? Why does it still say no? According to this article, it should return true or false. To enable stop protection, disable API stop. Disable API stop. Right. Instance ID. Right. Modify instance attribute. What is going on here? It's supposed to be true or false. I wonder if it's because it wasn't running. All right, let's go here. Let's see what's going on. is how we learn. At least how I learn. So there should be an EC2 instance here. Data center. It is running. Change stop protection. Stop protection is enabled. So why is it returning null? According to this, we enabled it. But it's not reporting the output that I expect to see. API stopping disabled. That's not the one we looked at. So it said disable API termination. This is a different command. But stop protection is on. So it's done. It's enabled. It's enabled. Enabling when launching a new EC2 instance. No. To enable instance ID, disable API termination. That was termination. This is stop. All right. I'm gonna push this button. Hopefully it goes through. Otherwise, it's gonna suck. It's gonna ruin my streak. Even though it's reading null. But we verified through the console that it is enabled, so.
Yay!
Not sure why it was returning null. That's annoying. And spooky and scary and all those things, but that's it. That's day 8. Let's see. Alright, there's no issues. Complete 5 tasks without a redo. Why is that like that? That's weird. Thank you. So was I supposed to? Oh, because we have to do the DevOps one. I'll do the DevOps one. There's also a Linux one that we have to do. This is 100 days, so it's just level 1. Yeah. Alright, well, we did this one, and we have another one to do tomorrow. Wait. Okay, the next one is the termination protection. But we've learned from today, there's a difference between API stop and API termination. So, until then, have a good one.